How many times have you heard that studying, landing a good job, and saving money are the keys to a financially stable life? From a young age, we're conditioned to believe in this simple, linear plan. It's such common advice that few take the time to question its validity. However, Robert Kiyosaki, the renowned author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, makes a startling claim: the traditional financial education system or its glaring absence keeps us trapped in a never-ending cycle of debt, frustration, and limitations. The truth is, most of us were not taught to think like the wealthy. In school, we learned to memorize dates, solve equations, and write essays, but we were rarely taught how to handle money strategically. Why doesn't anyone tell us that saving might not be enough in times of rising inflation? Why aren't we warned that relying on a single paycheck is a dangerous trap? Why aren't the tools for achieving financial freedom part of the school curriculum? Kiyosaki challenges us to reflect on these questions with a powerful insight. Real financial education isn't available through traditional systems. It's something we have to seek out on our own, often confronting the beliefs instilled in us since childhood. He urges us to see money not as an end goal, but as a tool to create more opportunities, freedom, and above all, independence. But what does financial education truly mean? How can it transform our worldview and decision-making? This roadmap is an invitation to demystify the secrets no one talks about. Exploring what the wealthy know and practice while most remain in the dark, we'll delve into concepts such as assets, liabilities, cash flow, and financial intelligence, always tying these ideas to practical life applications. Get ready to reevaluate everything you think you know about money and success. More than numbers and spreadsheets. Financial education is a pathway to freedom, something that transcends figures and speaks to the core of our life choices. To understand the gap between what is taught and what should be, we need to return to the basics. Robert Kiyosaki argues that the fundamental difference between the rich and the poor lies not in how much money they have, but in how they think about it. This difference begins with a crucial concept: assets versus liabilities. In the traditional view, an asset is anything we own: a house, a car, even a television. However, Kiyosaki redefines these terms in a game-changing way. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. It sounds simple, but this distinction completely transforms how we perceive wealth. Think about it. How many people spend their entire lives paying for things they believe are investments, when in reality they are disguised liabilities? A financed house, for instance, might seem like an asset, but if it generates constant expenses and provides no financial return, is it really? This perspective opens our eyes to the importance of building a solid foundation of assets, whether through investments, businesses, or income-generating properties, while minimizing liabilities. Another critical point Kiyosaki highlights is the role of fear in financial decision-making. Most people avoid investing or seeking new income sources because they fear loss. This fear is fueled by a lack of financial education, creating a vicious cycle. The less we know, the more we cling to the apparent security of a fixed paycheck. However, Kiyosaki emphasizes that true security comes from knowledge and the ability to make money work for you, not the other way around. He also stresses the importance of understanding how money flows in our lives. For most people, the cycle is simple. They earn, spend, and save a little. But for the wealthy, cash flow looks different. They invest, grow their money, and use the returns to cover expenses. This difference might seem subtle, but it's the key dividing line between those who achieve financial freedom and those stuck in the rat race. Underlying this journey is a powerful idea. Money isn't just about numbers, it's about mindset. And the right mindset can transform even the most limited resources into unlimited opportunities. When we begin to view money through the lens of financial mindset, we realize something transformative. What truly limits us is not a lack of resources, but a lack of strategies. Robert Kiyosaki often emphasizes that the rich don't become wealthy because they had more luck or privilege. They become rich because they understand how the rules of money work and know how to use them to their advantage. One of these rarely discussed rules is the power of compound interest. In school, we learn the mathematical formula, but we're almost never taught its real-life impact. Compound interest can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy, depending on how you use it. If you're constantly paying interest on debts, credit cards, loans, financing, you're stuck in a cycle where money works against you. On the other hand, by investing in assets that generate growing returns, you can make time work in your favor. This is where the difference between good debt and bad debt comes into play. Another essential concept for true financial education. Bad debt drains your resources, such as installment payments on items that depreciate or don't generate returns. Good debt, however, finances assets that produce income. For instance, a loan to acquire a rental property can be considered good debt because it generates cash flow. The problem is that most people only know bad debt, accumulating obligations that limit their ability to invest in their future. Kiyosaki also warns about a common misconception, associating formal education with financial success. He doesn't suggest that traditional education is irrelevant, but stresses that, on its own, it's insufficient. Many graduates leave college burdened with student debt and struggle to find jobs that cover their expenses. This isn't a coincidence. The educational system is designed to produce employees, not entrepreneurs. To break free from this structure, we need to invest in financial education independently. Books, seminars, mentorships, and even hands-on experiences are tools to expand our understanding of how money truly works. Learning to read financial statements, understanding markets, or mastering negotiation are skills that can transform your trajectory. The financial education no one tells you about starts here, with the decision to view money critically and strategically, taking control of your choices and your future. Once we understand the basic concepts of true financial education, such as assets, liabilities, and the impact of compound interest, a crucial question arises. Where do we start? Many people feel paralyzed at the thought of investing or making financial changes, especially if they are already overwhelmed by debt or daily responsibilities. Here, Kiyosaki offers simple yet powerful advice. Start small, but think big. The idea of starting small doesn't mean limiting your ambitions. It means taking the first step within your current means. For instance, if you want to invest, you could begin with something accessible, like an index fund or a small emergency fund in a high-yield savings account. The key is to develop the habit of saving and investing consistently. It's not the initial size of your investment that matters, but the discipline and commitment to grow it over time. Thinking big, on the other hand, requires expanding your mindset. Instead of limiting yourself to what seems possible right now, Kiyosaki encourages us to visualize a future where money is not an obstacle, but a catalyst for achieving our dreams. He reminds us that our first and most important asset is our own mind. The more we invest in it by acquiring financial knowledge and skills, the more opportunities we can identify and seize. He also emphasizes the importance of creating multiple streams of income. This doesn't mean taking on 2 or 3 jobs, but building sources of passive income. Passive income continues to flow even when you're not actively working for it. Examples include rental income from properties, stock dividends, royalties from a book, or a business that operates without your constant involvement. However, to reach this level of independence, we must overcome one of the greatest obstacles, the scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset convinces us that we never have enough time, money, or knowledge, and therefore cannot act. Kiyosaki challenges us to adopt an abundance mindset, focusing on possibilities and encouraging us to learn from mistakes. He reminds us that failure is part of the learning process and that every attempt is an opportunity to grow. Ultimately, true financial education isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about learning how to use money to build a life with purpose. By taking small, consistent steps while nurturing a bold vision, we begin to pave the way toward financial freedom. As we deepen our understanding of financial education, we realize that the real power lies in developing a long-term vision. However, what sets apart those who achieve financial freedom is their ability to align that vision with concrete actions in the present. Robert Kiyosaki teaches us that thinking like the wealthy means not only planning for the future, but also acting today with the right mindset. One of the key strategies he emphasizes is learning to take calculated risks. Unlike common belief, the wealthy don't avoid risk, they learn how to manage them. This skill is essential because money doesn't grow in environments of complete safety. Investing in assets, for instance, might seem risky to someone used to saving in a traditional savings account. But understanding the fundamentals of investing reveals that risk can be mitigated with knowledge and strategy. Kiyosaki often uses the metaphor of a game to illustrate the importance of learning through experience. In the financial world, he explains, you can start by playing small, experimenting with smaller amounts to understand how markets work or how to run a small business. The goal isn't to win big right away, but to build confidence and skill. Over time, as you learn to evaluate opportunities and minimize losses, you'll be better prepared to make larger, more impactful moves. Another fundamental pillar of financial education, rarely taught, is understanding the tax system. The wealthy don't just earn money, they know how to legally retain it. This involves leveraging businesses, real estate investments, and other strategies to reduce their tax burden and maximize their earnings efficiency. While most people work harder to earn more and pay increasingly higher taxes, the wealthy focus on structuring their income to pay less, reinvesting the difference into new assets. Kiyosaki also highlights the importance of cultivating relationships. He points out that no journey toward financial freedom is achieved in isolation. Surrounding yourself with mentors, qualified professionals, and people who share your mindset can drastically accelerate your progress. After all, wealth isn't just a matter of resources, but of connections and the ability to collaborate with others to create value. By combining knowledge, strategy, and a strong support network, you start building a solid path toward your financial goals. Every step taken with purpose and determination brings you closer to the freedom that many dream of but few truly know how to achieve. One of the most eye-opening aspects of Robert Kiyosaki's approach is his perspective on how the scarcity mindset is reinforced by the educational system and society. He argues that we are taught from a young age to seek security in a job, in a savings account, and in a conventional retirement plan. While this mindset of safety may feel comfortable, it limits us to operating within a system that favors those who already control the resources. One way to break this cycle is to recognize the value of continuous learning. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial education is not a one-time event but an ongoing process. Markets change, new opportunities emerge, and knowledge must be updated to keep pace with these shifts. Those unwilling to keep learning risk falling behind, even if they've taken some initial steps in the right direction. Financial education also requires unlearning deeply ingrained beliefs. For instance, many people believe that working longer hours is the solution to all financial problems. While effort is important, there's a limit to how much you can physically work. What truly makes a difference is learning to work smarter, leveraging your time and resources to create systems and assets that work for you. Another essential lesson from Kiyosaki is about the power of opportunity. He explains that the wealthy don't have access to a secret manual, but they have a trained eye for identifying possibilities where others see obstacles. This could be as simple as spotting potential in an undervalued property or as complex as investing in a promising startup. What matters is that they position themselves in environments where these opportunities arise, whether through networking, education, or hands-on experience. Additionally, Kiyosaki warns against a common mistake: postponing financial decisions. How often have you heard someone say, "I'll start investing when I have more money," or "I'll think about it when things get better"? This procrastination can be a major obstacle to financial freedom. The earlier you start, even with small amounts, the faster you can accumulate knowledge and capital. Ultimately, financial education is not just about accumulating wealth. It's about preparing yourself to recognize and act on opportunities. The difference between success and stagnation often lies in being willing to take the first step, even without having all the answers. One of Robert Kiyosaki's most powerful messages is that true financial freedom isn't just about numbers, it's about the freedom of choice that money provides. When you learn to control your money instead of being controlled by it, you gain the ability to decide how you want to live your life. But reaching this point requires dismantling myths and patterns that keep us trapped in the rat race. One such myth is the idea that financial stability comes from accumulating material possessions. Lavish homes, expensive cars, and designer items are often seen as symbols of success. However, Kiyosaki reminds us that many of these possessions are liabilities disguised as assets. While they may impress in the short term, they often drain resources and limit our ability to invest in real assets, such as income-generating properties or profitable businesses. Another common trap is living paycheck to paycheck, a reality many people consider normal. This mindset is reinforced by a system that encourages us to spend more as we earn more. Kiyosaki refers to this as the lifestyle creep syndrome. When our focus is on spending what we earn, we lose the opportunity to invest in building passive income streams, the true driver of financial independence. To escape this cycle, Kiyosaki suggests adopting a simple yet transformative practice: paying yourself first. This principle involves setting aside a portion of your earnings for investments before paying bills or covering expenses. While it may seem counterintuitive, This approach fosters financial discipline, forcing you to find ways to live on less while steadily building long-term wealth. In addition, he emphasizes the role of entrepreneurial thinking in wealth building. You don't necessarily need to start a business to think like an entrepreneur. It's about cultivating a mindset focused on solving problems and creating value. The wealthy understand that money is a byproduct of offering solutions and meeting market needs, whether through products, services, or strategic investments. Kiyosaki also underscores the importance of passing these lessons to future generations. He believes true financial education begins at home, with parents teaching their children how money works from an early age. This can involve explaining basic concepts like budgeting and saving, or even introducing more advanced ideas like investing and cash flow in a practical, accessible way. Financial freedom is a goal that requires conscious action, but it begins with a shift in mindset. The decision not to accept the limitations imposed by the system and to actively pursue control over your financial future. As we dive deeper into Robert Kiyosaki's philosophy, it becomes clear that financial education isn't just about money. It's about gaining the power to make decisions in our lives. This power comes from the ability to interpret the financial world and navigate it with confidence rather than fear or uncertainty. At the core of this process is a key concept Kiyosaki frequently emphasizes: leverage. Financial leverage is one of the most powerful tools the wealthy use, yet it's often misunderstood. Essentially, it's about using other people's resources, money, time, or knowledge to amplify the return on your own resources. In simple terms, this might involve financing a real estate investment, forming a business partnership, or learning from a mentor who has already walked the path you want to follow. However, leverage is a double-edged sword. When used recklessly, it can magnify risks and lead to financial failure. This is why Kiyosaki stresses the importance of deeply understanding the landscape you're entering. He teaches us to always do our homework, researching every opportunity and considering possible scenarios before taking action. Another critical aspect of true financial education is the ability to create systems. A system is any structure that allows you to produce consistent results with less effort over time. Successful businesses, for instance, operate with systems that function independently of the owner. Investments can also be structured as systems, such as automating contributions or diversifying portfolios to reduce risk. This approach brings us to a fundamental point: the value of time. Many people spend most of their lives exchanging time for money, but the wealthy understand that time is the most valuable resource of all. Kiyosaki encourages us to invest our time wisely, learning, planning, and building assets that free us from the need to work continuously just to pay bills. He also addresses the impact of collective mindset on our financial decisions. We live in a society where financial choices are often influenced by social pressure. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to keep up with others' lifestyles, even if it means accumulating debt or neglecting investments. Kiyosaki challenges this mindset, urging us to focus on our own goals and ignore external opinions when it comes to building our financial future. True financial education, therefore, isn't just about acquiring new skills. It's also about unlearning old habits. It's about reassessing what we value, how we think, and where we invest our efforts. Ultimately, financial freedom isn't achieved solely with money, but through a clear mindset and a well-defined sense of purpose. As we build a deeper understanding of financial education according to Robert Kiyosaki's teachings, we encounter a concept that is often overlooked: the importance of taking full responsibility for our financial situation. Kiyosaki reminds us that as long as we blame external factors such as the government, the economy, our jobs, or even our education, we will remain stagnant. Financial freedom begins when we accept that we have the power to change our circumstances. This shift in attitude requires courage to face reality and humility to admit where we are falling short. For many, this means confronting accumulated debt, impulsive spending, or the lack of future planning. However, what sets successful people apart is that, instead of feeling defeated by these circumstances, they use them as catalysts for corrective action. An essential step toward taking control is learning to think like an investor. Kiyosaki teaches that the wealthy invest in knowledge before investing money. They study the real estate market before buying properties, understand the fundamentals of a company before acquiring its stock, and analyze the risks and rewards of every decision. This strategic approach is what gives them an edge, even in a challenging economic environment. Another powerful lesson is learning to identify and take advantage of economic cycles. The economy operates in highs and lows, and Kiyosaki often emphasizes that crises, while frightening to many, are full of opportunities for those who are prepared. For instance, during recessions, real estate can be purchased at very low prices, and stocks of solid companies can be acquired at significant discounts. For those with capital or credit, a crisis can be the ideal time to invest and build wealth. But how do you prepare for such moments? First, it's essential to build a solid financial foundation. This includes maintaining an emergency fund, minimizing bad debt, and starting to invest in assets that grow over time. Second, it's necessary to develop a resilient mindset. Financial challenges are inevitable, but those with the right knowledge and mentality can recover and even thrive during tough times. Finally, Kiyosaki encouraged us to think beyond money itself. True wealth is built when we use our time and resources to create something that transcends finances, whether it's a business that impacts lives, an inheritance for future generations, or even a legacy of knowledge that inspires others to pursue their own freedom. As we progress on the journey to understanding the truth about financial education, one unavoidable point emerges: the role of failure. Robert Kiyosaki often emphasizes that the wealthy are not afraid to fail. On the contrary, they see failure as a stepping stone to success. While most people avoid risks out of fear of failure, those who achieve financial freedom understand that every mistake carries a valuable lesson. This mindset is crucial because the traditional education system often teaches us to fear mistakes. We are conditioned to always seek the correct answer, and any failure is viewed as a sign of inadequacy. In the financial world, this mindset is dangerous. Investing, entrepreneurship, and wealth building involve uncertainties, and the ability to navigate failure is what separates those who persist and succeed from those who give up. Kiyosaki invites us to view money as a game where constant practice leads to mastery. Just like in sports, you might make mistakes at the beginning, but over time and with learning, those mistakes become less frequent and less impactful. For instance, investing in an asset that doesn't generate returns might seem like an immediate failure, but the lessons learned from that experience often lead to better decisions in the future. Another fundamental aspect of financial education is the power of time. Kiyosaki highlights that wealth building is a cumulative process, where the small actions you take today add up to significant results in the future. Consider compound interest. An initial investment, no matter how small, can grow exponentially over the years. However, reaping the rewards requires patience, discipline, and a clear long-term vision. He also warns against the temptation of shortcuts. Many people fall for schemes promising quick riches, driven by the desire for immediate results. However, Kiyosaki asserts that true and sustainable wealth is built on solid, consistent principles. Instead of seeking shortcuts, the focus should be on developing skills, expanding knowledge, and applying proven strategies. Finally, he reinforces that true financial freedom isn't just about accumulating wealth, but also about finding balance. A rich life is one where money serves as a means to achieve your dreams, contribute to your community, and create a lasting impact. When you master your finances, you gain not only control over your money, but also over what it represents: freedom, possibilities, and choices. Another essential element of financial education, according to Robert Kiyosaki, is the ability to understand and leverage the financial tools that the system offers. He emphasizes that the wealthy do not play by the same set of rules as the majority. While many focus on cutting expenses and accumulating savings, the wealthy understand how to use other people's money, whether through credit, investors, or partnerships, to create exponential wealth. This strategy is closely tied to the concept of building or acquiring income-generating assets. To this end, Kiyosaki presents a fundamental principle: focus on how to make money flow consistently into your pocket, whether by investing in real estate, creating self-sustaining businesses, or building investment portfolios. The goal should be to create systems that operate continuously for you, regardless of your time or effort. He also stresses the importance of understanding the language of money. Many people feel intimidated by complex financial terms such as cash flow, internal rate of return, or diversification. However, Kiyosaki argues that learning this language is like learning any other. It may seem confusing at first, but with practice and constant exposure, it becomes second nature. Understanding financial terminology is critical to making more informed decisions and identifying good opportunities. Moreover, he reminds us of the importance of not following the crowd. Many financial decisions are made based on popular trends or what everyone else is doing. This can lead to financial pitfalls such as investing in overvalued assets or jumping on fads without solid foundations. Kiyosaki challenges us to think independently, analyzing each opportunity based on data rather than emotions or social pressure. Another vital aspect of financial education is adapting to change. We live in a world where technology and the economy evolve rapidly. What works today may not work tomorrow. For this reason, he emphasizes that the only way to thrive in an ever-changing environment is to stay informed. Whether by exploring new areas of investment like cryptocurrencies and startups or adapting your business model to market demands, the ability to reinvent yourself is essential to maintaining financial relevance. Finally, Kiyosaki highlights that true wealth is a reflection of the impact you create. When you understand how to use money to solve problems, improve lives, and create opportunities for others, your influence and success become far greater than any bank balance. Throughout this video, we've explored the pillars of true financial education according to Robert Kiyosaki. We've seen that the difference between those who achieve financial freedom and those who remain trapped in the traditional system is not luck, but knowledge and mindset. Financial education goes far beyond saving or earning more money. It's about understanding how money works, how it can work for you, and most importantly, how it can be used as a tool to build freedom. A critical point Kiyosaki emphasizes is the need to take control. We cannot expect the educational system, the government, or any other entity to prepare us for financial success. That responsibility is ours. This means questioning what we've been taught, actively seeking knowledge, and applying those lessons in practical ways even if the path seems challenging at first. We've also learned that wealth is not just about accumulation, but about building. Investing in assets, creating passive income streams, and using leverage strategically are tools that allow us to construct something lasting, something that benefits not only us, but also future generations. Beyond that, we've seen that wealth is deeply tied to the impact we create in the market, in our communities, and in the lives of those around us. Understanding that money is merely a tool frees us from the obsession with possessing it. It is not an end goal, but a means to live the life we desire. Once we grasp this idea, we start making decisions with clarity, avoiding financial distractions and focusing on what truly matters: freedom, time, and purpose. Finally, the truth no one tells us is that financial freedom is within everyone's reach, but it requires effort, discipline, and courage to achieve. It's a journey that demands continuous learning, resilience in the face of mistakes, and the willingness to challenge the status quo. However, for those who persevere, the rewards go far beyond money. They include the ability to live a life aligned with your values and the opportunity to build a legacy that inspires others to do the same. Let this video be a starting point, a spark to motivate you to seek more knowledge, challenge your beliefs, and take action toward your financial freedom. As Kiyosaki often says, the best investment you can make is in yourself, because in the end, your financial education will determine what you build with you have.